Welcome everybody to our webinar on analyzing accident data. Together we will show you on how to use our software PTV Visum Safety to analyze accident data. My name is Tim Hoffman, and please feel free to contact me at any time after the webinar for any questions you have related to road safety. If you have any questions regarding anything in this webinar, please also feel free to use the GoToMeeting question functionality, and I will try to answer the questions after the webinar. I intend to finish in about 30 minutes to leave some time to answer questions. PTV has been involved in the transportation planning field for well over 30 years, but we've also been very active in the field of road safety for a long period. And when talking to international organizations, it has become clear that safe infrastructure really is one of the key factors for road safety in general. But there are some challenges here, and one of the challenges is the one of institutional silos. Different parts of local administrations not really talking to each other, and this is one of the things that we want to change, and we want to facilitate the interchange of the different sectors within the administrations, and because they are faced with a lot of issues that are related to transportation. So these are just some of them, and road safety is only one of them. The common denominator for all those issues is the road network. And digitally speaking, if you have a transportation model, you are able to relate those different topics to each other. You can model the effects that an intervention in one sector has for other sectors. So with a transportation model, you can obviously do transportation planning related tasks, consider public transportation together with it, traffic engineering, traffic management issues. You can take a look at your emissions, but also be involved in a road safety management. And this is what we want to talk to you today. But where does road safety really start? Obviously, accident data is one of the fundamentals for any road safety related work. So there needs to be a system where accident data is systematically entered, collected, but also validated, and a system where you're able to do statistics on those accidents. There are different roles associated with these tasks, but this is in general one system, and we at PTV have experience in this field because we developed 15 years ago already a system which is used by the German police or many of the German states, and for about 1.6 million accidents, this system is used to collect the data for it, analyze them. So we do have a lot of experience here, and I'll show you just as a small introduction some screenshots of the software. So this is the system what the German police is using, PTV Visum, and you have a map interface to view the crash data. You have a filter possibilities, listing functionalities to be able to make sure that the crash data collected is valid. There's an inline validation where conflicts are reported, and the police has the ability to change different accident fields to make sure that the quality is right. There's also possibility. There's also a possibility to do statistics. But this is only the first part in our view. For in-depth accident data analysis by road safety experts, we believe another system needs to be available because also transportation-related data is of vital importance. And this is something where typically the police is not too much involved in, but on the other hand, road authorities are much more involved because they have the responsibility to cater for a safe infrastructure. And this is why we developed a tool for exactly that, for the combination of accident data together with transportation data. The information quality is from left to right is gaining. So in the beginning, only with a single accident data, you cannot do that much. If the data is validated, you can already do some statistics, but only if you combine this accident data together with transportation-related data from the road infrastructure, from road usage, then you have a whole view on the road safety situation. So, what is road infrastructure safety management? There are different methods for road infrastructure safety management. This also comes from the European Union, which drew up a directive, but actually this is something which is valid all over the world, basically, because these instruments have been in place in many countries already, and some of those methods are based on accident data, namely black spot management, network safety management, and road safety impact assessment. And these three methods are the main functions of PTV Visum safety. Today we're going to talk about black spot management and network safety management. And tomorrow there's going to be a webinar on road safety impact assessment using accident prediction models. Before showing you our software live, let me just give you some slides as an introduction. So, black spot management. What is black spot management? Well, a city needs to identify black spots or sites with a high crash frequency. And this is based on historical crash data, and once those clusters are found, you can try to analyze similarities of contributing factors to find fitting countermeasures against these crashes. I'll show you some examples later, but another aspect that Visum safety is good for is network safety management. Network safety management is a more strategic approach where road traffic planning is based on the macroscopic safety situation. So you try to assess the safety situation not only by looking at the historical crash data, but also at road infrastructure data and traffic volumes. You try to rank the road segments in terms of the high-risk sections and the severities to describe a safety potential. So you want to find those road segments with a high crash saving potential. The idea behind this is very simple. You have some parts of the road network where you have a lot of a high potential of avoidable crash costs. So if you find those segments where you can, by improving the safety situation, considerably reduce the amount of crashes, you can save a lot of crash costs. And this is what you want to do with the network safety management approach. You want to try to find these segments where by improving the safety situation you can benefit the most. So let's go and take a look at an example. As an example, we have some crash data and a road network, actually a transportation model of the German state of Saxony. So this is the application, PTV Visum. This is our transportation planning tool, and Visum Safety, which is the add-on to Visum, which adds road safety related functionality to Visum. And with PTV Visum Safety, we imported crash data. The type of crash data is configurable within Visum Safety, so it is possible to import virtually any type of crash data. Now, these are 30,000 crashes for a 3-year period on crashes with injuries. So just by displaying them, viewing them in a map, you don't get a lot of information out of it. So you have to find a way to focus in on something that you want to try to assess. So let's go back and take a look at the road network again. By filtering the road network, we can try to focus on, for example, now the motorway network. So these are the Autobahn regions within the state of Saxony. And we can now show only those crashes which are allocated at those sections which are filtered. So for now, you see the crashes which are located on the Autobahns. Visum Safety provides you with a functionality to create reports. And in these reports, you can find some statistics on the type of accidents, the involved road users, contributing environmental factors, and so on. But we can also take a look at the roads themselves. Because this is a transportation model, we do have information on the traffic volumes as well. Visum Safety, when importing crash data, automatically allocates those accidents to the road network, and so you have information which Visum Safety provides automatically. For example, the accident count. The accident count is an indicator which is not that useful, because depending on how long the link is, the bigger the chances there are more crashes. So it's more a better indicator for road safety purposes is the accident density, where you already get a normalized value. So this is the number of crashes per year and kilometer in this case. Also, if you have accident costs also associated with the crashes, or a cost density, you can choose to view those. But using the traffic volumes, Visum Safety automatically calculates an accident rate. So the accident rate really gives a good indication on the risk, the crash risk. So this gives an indication on how many crashes there are per million vehicle kilometers traveled on that link. We can also focus in on the other roads. Let's take a look at all the rural roads now. Obviously, we need to change the accident rate a little bit, because in the rural roads the accident rate is higher. So let's zoom in to find an example. Let's take this section here. Show the crashes. And you can make your first analysis using the map view. But by selecting a link and creating a report, you're able to assess in more detail what the situation is like, what types of crashes, and so on. Also, you have a data table with all the crashes and some of the contributing factors here. And by clicking on the different columns, you can sort the table to find correlations. For example, at nighttime, you have slippery road conditions a lot of times as a contributing factor. Also, speeding seems to be a problem here. And because all of this is embedded in a transportation planning tool with a model behind it, you can, for example, now assess what a change in the speed limit might have. But now let's go to another use case. Let's go within a city to look at black spot management and black spot management functionalities that Visum Safety is providing. This is an example city where we also imported accidents. So here we've more than 10,000 crashes, also within a 3-year period. And by just visualizing all of them, it's very hard to make sense out of this. So again, let's take a look at a specific use case. Let's filter for crashes involving bikes. This filter and the classification here is configurable. You can also use other types of classifications for this filter and also for the visualization. Okay, now we filtered for all the crashes involving cycles. It's still not very clear on where the problematic areas are, so let's go and make a heat map. A heat map is a very good way to very quickly assess the information on the road safety situation. So now we, just by entering those two values, we've now created a map where all those areas with more than 30 crashes involving cycles within a radius of 250 meters are in red, and in yellow all the locations with more than 15 crashes are highlighted. So this might not be very surprising within the inner city that there's a lot of crashes involving cyclists, but maybe these intersections are worth looking at in terms of cycling safety. Okay, let's go back and make another example. Within cities, intersections and the priorities within intersections are one of those issues where you have a good potential of reducing the number of crashes by changing, for example, the priority rules or the traffic signals and so on. So let's take a look at these crashes. So within the German classification, we have a crash type called turning into and crossing. And if we take a look at those, maybe involving only injury crashes, we now have another view. But also here, let's make a heat map. And again, very quickly, you can assess the road safety situation regarding one type of crash. And with this visualization, you already see those black spots. But there's also a black spot object type. So you can very easily create new black spot objects. I already did that. So these are now black spots that we've identified. And please note that those accent counts, which are now displayed here, are dynamic. So if I turn off the filter to show all crashes again, these will also get updated. So here you have a list of the black spots with the accent counts and all the other information which are summed up. Let's zoom in on one black spot. And because we've selected now the black spots, we can very easily create a report on what's going on in this intersection. Again, what are the involved road users? What's my trend? And again, a data table, making it possible to see correlations and so on. Also, you can view individual crashes. And get more information on individual crashes as well. Okay, now we return to some more slides. So I've shown you very quickly that with Visum safety it's possible to cater for different levels. So on rural roads, on a macroscopic level, but also on a microscopic level by viewing the safety situation on individual links, individual intersections, by having reports. In an urban use case, you can do black spot management using heat maps, but also zoom in to individual intersections and find out information on individual crashes. Visum safety is a global solution. It is very flexible in the data formats that can be read, both in terms of the crash data, but also in terms of the network data or model data you can use. And we really try to change the way that transportation planning and safety come together. Typically, transportation planning took into consideration political, economical, and technical aspects during the transportation planning phase. Then roads were built, cars were driving on the road, crashes were happening, then a safety analysis was done, and measures were drawn up to improve the safety situation. We really want to bring the road safety aspects in the transportation planning phase right away. And how do we do this? Well, I think I showed you, if you have a transportation model with road infrastructure data, speed data, maybe crash data, you can use network safety management and black spot management, just like I've shown you, to find those sections of concern. You can use them to do road safety inspections. I think this is another tool which still is necessary to go on site to see what the situation is like at a black spot. But you can then try to find countermeasures and model those within the transportation planning tool, evaluate those, and change the infrastructure, implement a road safety audit as well in this process. And if you have an accident prediction model, also do road safety impact assessments. And now you've included all the 5 elements which I've shown you before, which are part of road infrastructure safety management. Concerning road safety impact assessments, this is a very exciting topic where you try to estimate the effects that any change in the infrastructure has, not only in terms of the traffic flow changes, of the efficiency and performance, but also in terms of the impact on safety. There is going to be a webinar tomorrow where we will explain to you in more detail how road safety impact assessments using crash prediction models are used within PTV Visum safety. So I hope I was able to show you very briefly how it is possible to use Visum safety to analyze accident data, and what benefits this brings you in terms of being able to incorporate road safety aspects using crash data within a transportation planning environment. Thank you very much for listening. Now I will see if there's any questions and answer them. Okay, there's one question concerned accident data import. Well, I didn't cover this topic, but the accident data import is very easy. I'm just going to change to this view again. So once Visum safety is configured, and this is something that we are very happy to do for you as well. It's possible to import crash data simply by uploading CSV, a text file of the crash data. It can be coming from Excel or from any database application. And during the accident data import, the crash data will be mapped on the map, but also allocated to the road network, and we have a very good process to make sure that the allocation to the road network, to either the links or the nodes, is done in a correct and right way. So this is a very simple accent data import process that we've implemented here. There's another question. Is there a free and open format for accent data? Well, it really depends on where you're located. There are countries that have publicly available free accent data, where it's very easy to get the data and import the data. We've also developed some configurations for Visum safety where you can start right away. There's other countries where there are standards, and there are other countries where there are no real standards, and it really depends on the local authorities or the traffic police if they have a standardized way of coding crash data. But we've used Visum safety with dozens of different data formats, so you can basically use pretty much any crash data format. Okay, there's another question. Is the use of PTV Visum safety strictly related to build a transportation model, or can I start without a transportation model base at the beginning? Yeah, this is a very good question. It is possible to start without having a transportation model at all. Visum offers the possibility to import OpenStreetMap data, so you can, which is freely available. So you can just start by importing OpenStreetMap data of the region of concern and import crash data, and you're ready to go for many of the applications already. So you can already use black spot management applications, and start also with network safety management applications. There are some benefits by having a transportation model, because then you also have traffic volumes available, and you can, and Visum safety will then automatically calculate also accident rates, and also for the purpose of road safety impact assessment with an accident prediction model, it is very useful to have a transportation model behind it. But this is in no means necessary, especially not in the very beginning. Okay, there's a question. Is PTV Visum safety functions included always in this Visum software? No, currently it is an add-on to Visum, so we priced it very low to give all our clients the very easy possibility to include it in the project. So it's a very cheap price for that. Or if you don't have a Visum at all, there's a specially priced bundle where you have a Visum and the Visum safety module together. So if you have any questions concerning pricing, please go ahead and contact us, either your local sales representative, or if you want, you can contact me. I'll show you again my contact details. Please make use of that. Please do contact us. There's another question. We have an accident with accident data related to house numbers. Is there a way to link it to the network automatically? Okay, probably the only requirement that Visum safety has is that the accident data is already geo-referenced, so that you have an X and Y coordinate with it. But there's other ways to get to a X and Y coordinate, to geocode crashes. Either we can do this for you if you have address information For example, there are ways to find the right location. So the geocoding could either be done by us, or it could be implemented as a step within your tooling chain, or you can try to get the information using other services, or we can provide you with PTV Visum, which is the system used to collect and validate crash data. There it is possible to also locate the crashes. So there are different ways of using crash data which has not yet an X and Y coordinate to every crash. As per default, Visum Safety doesn't provide geocoding functionality where you can just geocode a crash using address information. We've also already used crash data that was referenced by mileage indication. So you had a road number and mileage information, and we set up a pre-processing step that was able to geocode those crashes as well. So there are ways around it. But please feel free to contact us. Okay, is there another question? No, apparently there's no more questions, at least now coming from you through the GoToMeeting question feature. Please do contact us regarding any questions you may have regarding road safety and transportation planning. Thank you again for listening. Please sign up for our other webinars. Tomorrow is specifically for the webinar on accident prediction modeling and road safety impact assessment, but we also have other webinars in store for you for free. We will distribute the recording of today, so everyone of you in the audience, but also the ones who are not able to join us live, are going to get a link to the recording. Thank you again for listening, and goodbye.